Ladies and gentlemen, we've been so focused on the fire in the Amazon to the point where no one is really talking about what happened to those animals. There were a lot of animals in there, you know, a lot of jaguars lived in there, cougars. You also had a bunch of snakes and all types of sloths. All kinds of animals lived there. It had a very big animal population in the Amazon. In fact, I read an article, they said 50% of the world's animals lived in that Amazon area in South America. So, what happened to those animals? I'm sure some of them burned up and died, but not all of them. So, those animals have to up and go to a whole different section of the Amazon, or they got to get out of there altogether in order to survive. That can really cause a very dangerous situation for the people that live there. You got some really dangerous animals. Remember, the anaconda is native to the Amazon. That being said, those dangerous animals got to go somewhere else. And this may push them closer and closer around people. So, this came out in Newsweek, August 28th, 2019. What is happening to the animals in the Amazon? Good question, because nobody's really talking about that. The longer the Amazon burns, the more concerns grow over the scope of local and global impact. To be sure, the Amazon plays a major role in pulling planet warming greenhouse gases out of the atmosphere, and without it, experts say climate change will likely speed up. That's what I read too. They fear that things have already changed, y'all, with the climate because of that fire. And that fire's been going on, just in case some of you don't know, it's been going on since August 15th. They are nowhere near close to even putting that thing out. And I'm thinking, because it's such a dense forest, because it had 390 billion trees in there, it may be very, very difficult for them to put that thing out anytime soon. Perhaps some rain will come along and put that fire out, because they're not doing so well. And I read that Brazil just sent 43,000 of its army in there to help fight the fire, and that thing is going strong. You're not even hearing about them getting it contained from the 15th all the way up until now. It's going to be a tough one to put out. Maybe if it was less populated with trees, it might be easier, but that thing is deeply packed with all kinds of plants and trees and shrubberies and all kinds of stuff. Okay, that being said, um, the longer the Amazon burns, the more concern grows over the scope of the local and global impact. To be sure, the Amazon plays a major role in pulling planet warming greenhouse gases out of the atmosphere, and without it, experts say climate change will likely speed up. But it is also home to countless ecosystems, some of which are thriving and others which are endangered, and a few of which are emerging. Deforestation is effectively endangering and eliminating the animals of the Amazon. While scientists can't definitely know which species are at risk until they've assessed the distribution of the blaze and the remaining animal population, they already know that some animals native to the Amazon are not adapted to cope with such massive fires. Yeah, they're right about that. When we lose forests, we lose related wildlife. He's right about that. This is the director of Brazil Wildlife Conservation Society, Carlos Dorigan, wrote in an email to Newsweek. The regions most affected by fire, we observe that animals are being killed. Some bigger and faster ones like jaguar, pumas, peccaries, tapirs, deers, many birds run away, but small ones like frogs, turtles, snakes, lizards, small mammals, and even some bigger ones like anteaters, sloths, and some monkeys have more difficulty running and ending up burning. Wow. They said this is the remains of a snake that burnt up. Okay. That's a shame because, um, you know, we already lose too many animals, but now you're losing a whole host of them from this fire. North American blackback woodpecker, for example, is a fire adapted bird that preys on wood boring beetles who colonize recently burnt habitats. Sullivan noted that already endangered species, just such as the white-cheeked spider monkey, Milton TT monkey, and Mura saddleback tamarin, could be impacted more, even the ones that are fast enough to initially escape the fire. The cougar, for instance, prey on turtles, caimans, deers, peccaries, capybaras, and tapirs, according to National Geographic. But those species are at risk of habitat loss due to the fire, and the loss impacts the cougar's food chain. Yeah, the food supply. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would imagine those animals are trying to run to safety. I know they got to eat and all, but they got to run and get out of those areas. And there's no telling how many of those animals have died. It's not like they can get in there and see what's going on. Okay, losing forests and related ecosystems means losing opportunity to know how complex and how rich the regional biodiversity is and how to develop the region economically in a more sustainable way, Dorican said. It's not just the animals. The loss of the Amazon ecosystem could also threaten the capacity of plants and trees to regenerate. About 80% of trees in the Amazon are dependent on animals for their regeneration through seeding dispersal, Sullivan told CNN. When you take away those animals, all of a sudden, you are taking away the ability of those trees to regenerate, he said. Well, I think it's inevitable that many of the animals in there would die. I hate to see that happen. I really do. Because none of these fires are ever their fault. It's not their fault. And every now and then you'll see a displaced animal just walking. Because I remember during some of the fires in California, you would see a deer come out and just walk right in the middle of a street that was completely burnt because they don't have nowhere to go. They're confused. They're trying to figure out where they can go. So I would imagine they're having the same problem there. And like I said, that can create a dangerous situation, especially one of those big cats come out of there and start roaming around, especially close to people. That can be a big problem. The animal, they're probably confused. They live there their whole life. They have not seen a fire. They don't even know what the hell that is. But, ladies and gentlemen, please tell me what you think. This is this is just crazy, and it's a shame that it's gone on for this long. And I know the United States said they would go in there and help, and it is just not making any difference. This thing is still raging strong. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.